I do.
He does, but look at our car. I mean,
Our car
I get it. I get it.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Ritz-Carlton.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. I don't know. Are you checking in?
Yeah.
This is the Dixie Fire in 2021. This was the largest fire in California state history and the largest, most expensive fire in the United States. Of course I had to go see it. What's the best way to go see it? Well, in a Cessna. So we took a Cessna. Now we could only get within 25 miles of it. So we got to size it up. Came back, took a time lapse that night of it. I sat in my hotel room that entire night, thinking about what the next day would be like. Come up there to those people. This was my first job with the press pass and my first assignment. I was nervous and excited and scared for those in the way of the fire. They made it rain, pink Skittles all over me. I was wondering how this was going to show up, if it would show up at all.
Reporting to you live from the Dixie Fire complex, where the firefighters were fighting this blaze for the last 7 days straight. Indications are it's still the 8th largest fire in the state's history, and it doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon.
Unfortunately, this isn't the first wildfire I've covered. Back in my home state, just a year before. This just goes for miles, all the way down these roads. In every direction. These people had no warning. They hit in the middle of the night. They lost communications because of high winds. Cell phone towers went out. Power lines down. Telephone lines down. It's unbelievable everybody made it out alive. Just 12 days earlier, I was in Hurricane Laura down in Lake Charles. Went home, reeling from the effects of the chlorine fire, when just days later my home state practically melted to the ground. So I took off out west to go document it. I've helped a few families pick through some stuff, move some stuff. You know, the biggest problem these people are facing is they're starving. They live in a tourist area, and meals are expensive out here at the coast. And so people are having to get creative. They're having to eat at fast food and buy a bunch of cheap, crappy food and ration it out. And I talked to several folks in the retired sector who that's the biggest problem right now, is they're trying to figure out how to eat. They've lost all their stuff, everything's gone, and they've gotten the the ability to stay with in hotels, but they can't prepare food, they can't prepare meals. They're in a lot of cases, they're starving. That's what's going on. People are actually starving out here. So they've lost everything, they're hungry, and they either
Their choices are crappy fast food, crackers at a store, nowhere to prep food. And so I've been helping as many people as I can with, I mean, look at this, it just goes for blocks. Just blocks, miles, in every which way, every direction. So just a few homes. One's here and there.
Old lady, she's in her 90s. She's probably not gonna come back.
Yeah.
And then we have Steve right here. He said 6 months and he'll be back.
Okay.
And the rest of the strip over here, and Mike over here, he'll be back.
People are coming back.
They're gonna come back.
Okay. How do you feel about being one of the only houses survived up here? What's the emotions you felt when you came back and saw your house standing?
It's
Miracle.
a miracle.
Okay.
It is a miracle, but I feel guilty too.
Yeah. I'm not trying to make you cry, but I understand. I understand. This is raw, and I wanted to make sure.
Devastating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you grew up here?
Yeah, this is my grandma's house. Otis was named after my uncle.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Down the way, my sister, I can see all the way to her house
Yeah.
now through
Wow.
the trees. Her house and her cars there burn up.
Yes. Okay.
And then her dad's truck is over in Yodel Lane and house burn up.
Yeah, Yodel Lane's a complete
And
loss.
right behind my sister's house is where my dad grew up, and that house is gone. A miracle is gonna happen. I mean, look, it already is starting. He's starting to clean it up. You know, he's gonna clean it up.
We'll rebuild.
Rebuild. Everyone's
The
gonna.
neighbors will come back.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have a better Otis out here.
Okay.
Otis strong. You know, we'll
Otis
all come
strong.
back.
Okay.
Otis
On our coverage of that fire, we were cut off from small communities and towns that had been started since the gold rush. These towns were complete losses. Historic buildings gone. Amazingly, only one fatality. Unfortunately, it was a firefighter. This fire would get within a quarter mile of our location. We were evacuated. Just by sheer luck, and I mean luck, and it follows me a lot, I ended up getting an interview with the head of communications.
Well, we're being evacuated. I'm standing here with Kevin Sweeney,
Correct.
and you are.
I'm the public information specialist for Lassen Volcanic National Park.
So at this point, the fire is now grown to the 8th largest fire in California history. What can you tell us about what we're seeing now?
So we're seeing extreme fire behavior. There's no way around it. This fire is hitting very receptive fuels, is moving very quickly, and we're under a red flag warning. So it's a very serious situation right now.
What towns can people expect to see under the next warning?
Well, here we are in Mineral right now, Mineral, California. We're under an evacuation warning. The area is sparsely populated around the national park. And so for right now, we're just looking at the town of Mineral being impacted. Also further down the road, Mill Creek, they're under the evacuation warning, and then Childs Meadows, which is a little bit closer.
Watching the reaction from a girl from the Midwest who'd never been to the West Coast. And of all places to go on the West Coast, San Francisco.
Is that a parking garage?
And we get a place at the Ritz-Carlton.
Because I think this is for us. I think. Oh shit. No, it's not.
No? Look at the guy looking at us. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Oh my god, look at that guy. He's
The
got a
fuck?
pink top hat.
I know.
He has a top hat.
Yeah,
We are at the Ritz-Carlton.
I know. And we look like fucking bums from the forest.
I mean, I don't, but
You know, I do.
he does. But look at our car. I mean,
Our car
I get it. I get it.
This poor guy. Okay, let's talk to you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Ritz-Carlton.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Excellent.
Now I know what this guy must have thought. This is a game show where people punk him. But really, we were just pulling in after a long day's hard work. Next to Lamborghinis, Maybachs, Rolls Royces, Land Rovers, you name it, supercars, everything was there. And our covered in fire retardant Jeep Cherokee.
I don't know. Are you checking in?
Yeah.
Are you checking in?
Yeah.
And the best part, we missed our flight to take the car through the car wash because it took so damn long.
Smoke's blowing all the way into San Francisco here at the Ritz, just down the street from the financial district. It's definitely followed me all the way in. So there I was, returning back to the airport to fetch my lost cell phones that I forgot in the back seat. Coincidentally, I gotta give Dallas credit. Look at green, parking spot, red, it's taken. You ever tried to find a parking spot and it's difficult in the airport? Not in Dallas. They color code it for morons like me. They have to come back to the airport to get their cell phone.
It was the craziest 3 weeks of my life. I started out in Hawaii, flew to Oregon to see my parents, down to California a day later for the fires, then out to Chicago just a few days later for a tornado, back to New York for a Hurricane Henri that turned into a tropical storm, then out to Louisiana for a brutal Cat 4 in Houma, Louisiana.